Jeremy can draw and paint and illustrate on anything. If you could watch him put goat cheese on his sister, you can see this. Jeremy's Midwestern by birth, Scandinavian by disposition. He has one foot in Norway at all times. Travels abroad. His illustration runs the gamut. I can't even talk about it. All I'll say is that it has the inspiration to both strike fear and joy, someplace. He is a graduate of the Kansas City Art Institute, and thank God, the art director of This Land Press, Jeremy.
That's a lot of images. Okay, so probably the most visible thing that I do at this end is the covers. I do a lot of illustration and design for the covers. It's like 20 images a section. Okay, so any minute now. Okay, so this is a good example of one of my favorite types of covers. Just really simple, really quick, traditional materials. Working at this line, you have to get really good at drawing witty country. This is just ink on bristle board, manipulated digitally. Okay. At this line, we really try to push kind of like what the concept of design or illustration can be. Sorry. So this is something using a lot of different materials. We had a story about a tailor who had survived the Holocaust. So we actually got together scraps of cloth, and I did a portrait in cloth. It took forever to get the photograph right. That is what we just did for an illustration for the cover. I also, like I said, I use a lot of mediums. I do a lot of different things. So actually, if you see any of the newspaper racks around town, I spend a lot of time at Fab Lab making those things. So I'm involved in everything from 3D acrylic laser cut art to newspaper racks to furniture design or whatever. Lots of stuff. Okay, so this is another good example of illustration. This is one of my favorites. I get to, basically because I'm the guy who's doing illustration and design and all that, I kind of consider the whole thing. Like I can think about the design and illustration as I go. And again, I like the traditional medium. Because I'm kind of the only illustrator at this land, full time, I kind of have to make it look like there's 6 of us. So I have a bunch of different styles that I pull out. So this is just some quick speed painting, which you do have to kind of with our schedule. I rarely get to spend more than an hour or 2, maybe 3 tops, painting or drawing anything. This is another good example of a different kind of style, kind of like a flat, cartoonish. This is for a story I think about a teenager who fell in love with William Faulkner. I 11%, so I sneak them in wherever I can. Yeah, okay, so back to more traditional stuff. This is the kind of stuff that I do more for me. It's crossing between illustration and I did for client kind of gallery work, which I also do. This is just like acrylic paint and graphite. I don't know, I forgot. Lots of birds. I have a thing for penguins as well. So. And that's also a lot of freelance stuff. This is, I've been working with Jeff Savage at Savage Studios lately. We've been doing, collaborating on the Tulsa Opera's posters and stuff for the next year. And that's also just like India ink digital color. Actually, this is probably my favorite issue. I didn't do a damn thing on this. This is all other artists, and probably another favorite part of my job is being art director. I get to work with a lot of other artists. All I did was pull these guys together and work with them to produce artwork, and it's really great to actually help promote artists, bring them in. Okay, so my background in design is actually kind of old school. When my friends were all going and getting internships at design firms and stuff, I went to a lead press, Hammer Press, and I did 2 years there in Kansas City. I was like moving letters around individually made out of lead. That's kind of my background. Okay, so I wanted to talk more about my own personal work. My background in fine arts is also related, like with Hammer Press and my design stuff. I do printmaking for fine art work, and so I'm a big enthusiast for sketchbooks. All my work starts in a sketchbook. They're good for shopping lists or PechaKucha notes, things like that. So, okay, so once I've got a sketch I like, I kind of pull apart, try and figure out, I do woodcuts, so I'm trying to break it into different layers that I'm going to carve. And I kind of figure out the colors either digitally or on a piece of paper or something like that, and that's kind of how I composite a final print. So you get kind of like different colors, carve them into wood, pop them into a letterpress, ink them up, and then you can kind of get this cool overlapping the colors. So I'm printing 3 colors here, but you actually get something like 8 or 9 actually on the print itself. So I'll cut an edition and hang those out or in an exhibition. The blocks themselves are made out of wood. I actually probably like them more than the prints. I think they're beautiful, they're sculptural. So actually usually when I have a gallery show or something like that, I'll put the wood blocks on the wall, also so people can see how much work actually goes into making a wood print. And I'll paint back into them. I also take the same blocks and I'll kind of put them on press and kind of randomize them and just kind of use them painterly, just put on colors and make from the same plates, from the same wood blocks, I'll make different kinds of abstract art with different levels of compression and basically just different pieces of the image from before showing up in different patterns with heavier inks. And then when I've got stacks of prints that just sit around or I don't know what to do with, I'll chop them out and kind of make these sculptural forms just out of hundreds and hundreds of sliced up prints. And it kind of got into some installation work just made out of thousands of chopped up prints and thumbtacks. This is kind of a current woodcut that I've been working on now. It's a little bit bigger, 2 by 3 feet, I think. This we had to find. I had to print this by hand because it's kind of hard to find a press in Tulsa used for it. Right, so I've been talking mostly about, you can't hardly see that. I've been talking a lot about process, but I do think that good artwork is a good balance between, very good skill and very good content and also very good concept. And this is, if you can see it, I don't know, maybe I'll have a detail in a second. There we go. I've tried doing political stuff before, it never really works for me. I don't like feeling like trying to convince other people of my viewpoints, so I'm trying to go more general, and this is kind of something I'm working on now. It will probably be a woodcut, just kind of themed around the idea of greed. And I think anybody can get this, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, and kind of get something from it. That's it.